You probably think your smartphone is expensive because companies are greedy, because inflation is high, or because technology is getting better. That explanation is comfortable and completely wrong. The real reason global tech prices are rising has nothing to do with innovation and everything to do with power. Tariffs are no longer economic tools, they are weapons. What you are witnessing is not a market failure, it is a controlled escalation in a global economic war where consumers are the collateral damage. Every time a government announces a new trade protection measure, it is quietly adding a hidden tax to your laptop, your GPU, your electric vehicle, your router, and even your cloud services. The terrifying part is that this is not temporary. This is structural. Once tariffs enter a system, prices do not go back down. They reset upward permanently. And the reason this is happening now, all at once, across multiple sectors, is because the global order that once kept technology cheap has collapsed. The world is moving from efficiency to security, from free trade to strategic isolation, and that shift is brutally expensive. Tariffs are the visible symptom of something much larger. Nations no longer trust each other with the infrastructure of modern life. When trust disappears, cost explodes. Most people misunderstand how tariffs work. They imagine a tariff as a punishment paid by a foreign country. In reality, tariffs are paid almost entirely by domestic companies and passed directly to consumers. When a government imposes a 25% tariff on imported chips, steel, batteries, or electronics, the exporter does not absorb that cost. The importer does. That importer then raises prices to survive, but the damage does not stop there. Tariffs break supply chains that took decades to optimize. A modern device is not made in one country. It is assembled from components that cross borders multiple times. A single tariff on one component cascades through the entire production process, multiplying costs at every stage. Manufacturers then face a choice: raise prices, reduce quality, or exit the market. Most raise prices. And once a tariff exists, companies redesign their supply chains around it, building redundancy instead of efficiency. Redundancy is expensive. Security is expensive. Localization is expensive. The age of just-in-time manufacturing is over. What replaces it is just-in-case manufacturing, and you are paying for the insurance premium embedded in every device you buy. Technology prices are rising faster than other goods because tech sits at the center of the modern power struggle. Semiconductors are not just components, they are strategic assets. Whoever controls chips controls AI, military systems, communications, and economic growth. This is why the United States, China, and their allies have weaponized tariffs and export controls around semiconductors. When advanced chips are restricted, companies scramble for alternatives, secondary suppliers, and less efficient processes. This creates artificial scarcity. Scarcity drives prices up even when demand stays flat. Add to this the fact that chip manufacturing is insanely capital-intensive. New fabs cost tens of billions of dollars and take years to build. Tariffs slow down equipment imports, raise construction costs, and delay production. Every delay tightens supply. The result is brutal price pressure that flows downstream into GPUs, smartphones, cars, servers, and cloud services. This is why your graphics card costs more, your cloud subscription quietly increases, and your next phone upgrade feels unjustifiable. You are not paying for silicon, you are paying for geopolitics. There is a dangerous illusion that once trade tensions ease, prices will normalize. History shows the opposite. Tariffs create new winners and losers. Once domestic producers are protected, they lobby aggressively to keep that protection. Once companies invest billions to move factories, they will never return to cheaper locations. Once governments frame trade as a national security issue, reversing tariffs becomes politically impossible. Lowering tariffs looks like weakness. This locks inflation into the system. Even if tariffs were removed tomorrow, companies would not slash prices. They would protect margins after years of instability. Consumers almost never benefit from de-escalation. This is why technology inflation feels different from food or energy inflation. It doesn't spike and fall. It ratchets upward. Each crisis resets the baseline. And we are entering an era of constant crisis, trade wars, sanctions, cyber conflict, shipping disruptions, and regional wars. Tariffs are not a temporary response to an emergency. They are the permanent architecture of a fragmented world. What you are experiencing is the end of cheap technology as a byproduct of globalization. For 30 years, consumers benefited from a system optimized for efficiency, low labor costs, and frictionless trade. That system is dead. In its place is a world optimized for control, resilience, and dominance. Tariffs are the financial expression of fear. Fear of dependence, fear of disruption, fear of losing strategic advantage. Every country is preparing for a future where access to technology may be cut off overnight. That preparation is expensive, and you are funding it every time you upgrade a device. The uncomfortable truth is this: rising tech prices are not a failure of capitalism. They are capitalism adapting to conflict. The market is telling you something governments won't say openly. The world is no longer cooperating. It is preparing. And in a world preparing for confrontation, nothing stays cheap, nothing stays neutral, and nothing stays purely commercial. Technology has become territory, and tariffs are the borders.